Okay, I'd like to thank everyone for attending the Committee of Adjustment meeting, and I'd like to remind everyone as we get underway that this meeting is in person and online through Zoom and is being recorded. Everyone online will be muted with the exception of the committee members and staff. All comments and questions are to be directed through the chair from committee members, staff, and the public. I'd like to remind committee members that you must speak into your microphone so everyone online and in person can hear you. For those attendees that are online, your video picture will not be displayed. You will be muted and will not be able to unmute yourself during an application you have not requested to attend unless you raise your hand. At the beginning of each application, I will call the application forward. The owner or applicant in attendance may come to the table to their right to speak with the committee. This microphone is live and you must speak into the microphone. If the owner or applicant is online, you will be unmuted. The committee will ask for comments from the public during each application. Please provide your name and address for the public record. All comments and questions should be directed to the chair and only speak when it is your turn. If you're in person and would like to speak to an application one at a time, you may approach the podium and speak. This microphone will be live. If you are on the video portion of the Zoom meeting and you'd like to speak and your microphone is muted, please click the raise hand button located in the bottom of your screen. Staff will notify me that you wish to speak. If you're attending by telephone and you wish to speak, please dial *9 to raise your hand, which will signal staff that you wish to speak. Once a decision has been made concerning your application, you're welcome to leave the hearing while the committee continues with the next application. Members in attendance today are Catherine Graham, Bruce Craig, Todd Robertson, and myself, Jim Keel. Our staff in attendance are Senior Planner Lindsay Lambert, Planner Kyle Peel, and Secretary Treasurer Amanda Werner McKellar. The first item on the agenda today is the adoption of the agenda. Do committee members have any changes they wish to make?
No.
None here.
None here, sir.
Nor do I. So I need a mover and a seconder to adopt the minutes. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Bruce. That the agenda be adopted as circulated. We vote.
Catherine, yes.
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 And I'm also carried. The second item on the agenda is the adoption of the minutes from our August meeting. Oh, we're going to do both. Oh, July 29th, 25. Do any committee members have any changes or suggestions?
None.
None here.
None here.
Nor do I. So we're ready to vote. We need a mover and a second. Moved by Catherine. Seconded by Todd. That the minutes of the July 29th, 25 hearing of Committee of Adjustment be adopted as circulated. We're ready to vote.
Catherine, yes.
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 I am also carried. So now we do the August meeting. Okay, the next item is the adoption of the minutes from the August 2025 meeting. Any changes, committee members?
I have none.
None here.
Nothing to add.
Nor do I. So we need a mover and a seconder again. Moved by Todd, seconded by Bruce. That the minutes of the August 26th, 2025 hearing of Committee of Adjustment be adopted as circulated. Ready to vote.
Yes.
Bruce, yes.
Yes.
I am also carried. The next item is, where are we there? Should be any declaration of pecuniary or any other interest in any of the ones before us today.
Catherine, no.
Bruce, no.
Oops. None here.
Nor do I. So we need. Yeah. Yep. So I'm looking for the next item. So the first application today, just see here, get my paperwork in order. Yep, the first application today is D13-2025-034263 Bostwick Island. And Amanda.
Yes, this is a minor variance application. Is requesting zoning relief from the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of the St. Lawrence River and the minimum front yard setback of the island residential zone. The applicant is proposing a 37.2 square meter accessory building, which is a storage and office building with a proposed 18.7 square meter attached deck. Construction of the proposed structure was commenced in the absence of the necessary municipal and agency approvals. The subject property is currently developed with a dwelling and an attached enclosed sunroom, an attached uncovered deck, and an accessory structure, a pump house, and a marine facility dock.
Okay, thank you. Lindsay, you give us your report, please.
Thank you, Chair, and through you. So as noted, this is a minor variance application for the property municipally known as 263 Bostwick Island for a 37.2 square meter detached office accessory structure with 18.7 square meters of attached uncovered decking. The structure was in the process of being constructed in the absence of the necessary municipal and agency approvals. Zoning relief for this application is requested from the minimum 30-meter water body setback of the zoning bylaw and the minimum 30-meter front yard provision of the island residential zone. The proposed setback for the structure is 23 meters. In staff's review of the application, it was found to comply with all other provisions of the zoning bylaw, such as maximum height, minimum setbacks, and lot coverage, and comes no closer to the high water mark of the river than existing development on the property. The CRCA has provided comments noting no concerns from a natural hazards perspective. No comments have been received to date from the public. Through the analysis presented in the staff report, the application has been found to meet the 4 tests of a minor variance under the Planning Act. Planning staff therefore recommend approval, subject to the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Amanda, are there any other public comments you've received?
No, we just received the comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections, and we've not received any further written public comment.
Thanks, Amanda. Is there anyone here in the public that wishes to speak to this application in the audience?
No, we have no one in the audience and no one online looking to speak to the application.
We'll start with committee members. Any question for the applicant?
Thank you. I just have a question about the plumbing arrangements for this structure. It's a rather large structure, and I'm curious whether there's a plan for a bathroom or any kind of sink or anything.
No bathroom in this unit so far. No.
Thank you.
Yeah, Bruce.
No, I had no concerns. The applicant seemed to be managing the island in a nice naturalized way. And as was noted, that the new structure is no closer to the water than existing development. So I have no concerns.
Todd?
My only comments are during the site visit, I missed any mention of the uncovered attached deck, but in reviewing the documentation, it didn't raise any additional concerns. And thank you to my colleague for covering off the question around plumbing, so we could get that on record. So I have no other issues or concerns.
Okay, thanks, Todd. I have no issues either. So anyway, we need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Todd. That the application D13-2025-034 be approved, subject to the conditions as included in the planner's report and decision of the committee. And we're ready to vote.
Catherine, yes?
Bruce, yes.
Yes.
And I'm also carried. Second on the agenda today is D13-2025-035-928 Beaverbrook Lane. So you read us your application, please, Amanda.
Yes, okay. The application is requesting a permission to reconstruct and expand the floor area and the height of the existing legal non-complying dwelling. The existing dwelling is legal non-complying with respect to the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of the Gananoque River and the minimum 30-meter front yard provision of the shoreline residential zone. The existing 111.4 square meter single-story dwelling is proposed to be expanded in height and floor area with a 5.9 square meter attached covered entry. The existing height of the dwelling is 4 meters and the proposed height is 4.3 meters. Through the proposed reconstruction, an existing sunroom is proposed to be rebuilt as attached uncovered decking, and an area of attached uncovered decking is proposed to be rebuilt as enclosed floor area for the reconstructed dwelling. The property is currently developed with a dwelling, 2 accessory structures, and a sleeping cabin. The application is also requesting a variance to the zoning bylaw to permit an accessory structure, which is a detached garage. The accessory structure is proposed to be approximately 72.4 square meters and is located within the minimum required 30-meter setback from the high water mark of the watercourse on the property.
Okay, thank you. Lindsay, would you give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you. This application is a combined permission and minor variance application for the property municipally known as 928 Beaver Rock Lane. The permission application is with respect to a proposed 5.9 square meter covered entry addition on the west side of the existing dwelling and a 0.3 meter increase in height of the existing legal non-complying dwelling. The minor variance application is for a proposed detached garage that is to be located within the 30-meter setback of a watercourse that is present on the property. The proposed covered entry comes no closer to the high water mark of the Gananoque River than the closest point of the existing dwelling. The proposed increase in height will facilitate a more functional dwelling and is not anticipated to generate any undue adverse impacts. The proposed permission has been found through the analysis of the report to meet the OP policy tests with respect to an expansion of a legal non-complying structure. For the minor variance, the 22-meter minimum setback being proposed for the detached garage is with respect to the existing watercourse that coincides with the property. Through the analysis presented in the staff report, the proposed zoning relief has been found to meet the 4 tests of a minor variance. With respect to both the permission and the minor variance, no comments have been received to date from the public, and the CRCA is satisfied with the proposal from a natural hazards perspective. Staff therefore recommend approval of the application in accordance with the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Lindsay. Amanda, are there any other public comments that we've received?
We received the comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections, and we have not received any further written public comments.
Thanks, Amanda. Is there anyone in the audience or online that wishes to speak to this application?
We have no one online and no one in the audience looking to speak to the application.
Committee members, any questions for applicants?
I have no questions or concerns. I'd like to compliment the applicants on the staking job they did. It was really well done. Thank you.
Bruce?
No, I have no concerns. It's going to bring the existing dwelling, which is going to be demolished, up to code. I see it as an improvement. The only question, and I'm not sure if this is the application, but Lindsay could clarify it. I saw online on some of the documents that there was site plan control for one of our applications today. I'm just wondering, is it this one? Or am I mistaken?
Through you, Chair, there is an official plan policy that requires an agreement for properties located and accessed via private lane. And so that is the practice of staff. There were applications at the previous meeting as well where site plan control was a requirement based on that OP policy being implemented through any Planning Act decisions on properties that are accessed via a private lane.
Yes, I understand. Perhaps it might be the official plan sort of recommendation, but I think generally speaking, it is a practice that our committee is usually generally not in favor of. So I would like to put that to my colleagues and just get their opinion on that. That's all I have.
Want to go to Todd next year just to see what he has to say?
I was going to compliment you on the staking as well. Very clear and easy to visualize what you have planned. I'm very interested in hearing more on the point that was just raised. So just if nothing else for my education. Thank you.
Okay, I guess I'll go first. And this is, I guess, for you, Lindsay. I thought there was something come out from the province a few years ago that there wouldn't be site plan control on single family dwellings or whatever like that. It was more, it had to be up to 10 units or something like that. You can correct me if I'm wrong.
Through you, Chair, there were changes to the Planning Act in recent years that did remove site plan control for properties with less than 10 units, as well as removing the ability for municipalities to require site plan control on waterfront properties. However, there were subsequent changes to the Planning Act that reinstated the ability for municipalities to require site plan control on waterfront properties. I'll note that the site plan control requirement is just an administrative requirement that's been noted in the staff report, and it's not part of the committee's recommendation or conditions that staff are recommending to approve as part of the decision on this Committee of Adjustment application.
Okay, thanks, Lindsay.
Well, based on that, and my understanding was the same as yours. Based on that, I propose that we proceed with this application. And maybe there will be an opportunity later on as we review some of the policies of the township more generally, but to discuss this.
Bruce, anything else?
Yes, but as my understanding, it's official plan recommendation, and that we don't have to follow it. Is that not correct?
Through you, Chair, it's outside of the scope of the application that's before the committee. It's an administrative additional application that follows the committee's decision on this application, and it's in the interest of protecting the municipality and reinforcing that the township doesn't have responsibility for properties that are accessed via private road. And the official plan was approved by Township Council, and staff are choosing to implement the policy through site plan control.
Nothing to add. Thank you.
I'd like you to just clarify it for me a little bit then. So this is basically, how would I word this? Nullifying or whatever. The township is not responsible for the road. If they have to get in for a fire or something like that, it would be, in this case, Peter and his wife's thing to keep, or anybody else that has property on that road to maintain it or to keep it open in case of winter or whatever. Is that what this does? I'm just trying to get to understand why it's on there.
Yes, that basically summarizes
Okay.
what's being achieved through
Yeah,
implementing the site
it's-
plan control.
It's not like in the past, like we've been through this years ago. That site plan control on a property would make it that you couldn't cut a tree, you couldn't change colors on the building without actions. This isn't that? Am I correct? This has nothing to do with that then?
Correct. It's mainly a tool to implement that provision, stating that the township is not responsible with respect to the property being accessed via a private road as opposed to a township or other municipal road
Okay.
in terms of emergency access.
I was going to ask Peter if he wanted to speak to it. Like, do you have any objection then, Peter?
I haven't used this microphone, just making sure it's working. Yes, in general, I object to site plan control. And when I was on the Committee of Adjustment, I generally recommended against it because it decreases property values. And in fact, when we purchased the property, I asked my lawyer to ensure that there was no site plan control on this property prior to purchase. So it's a little annoying to have site plan control applied to it now. It seems to be to guard the township. It's not in my interest to have site plan control on this property, if I understand what Lindsay is saying. And furthermore, it's not clear to me why anybody would imagine that the township was responsible for a private road in the first place. So why do we need to write it down again? It should be common sense that if it's not your road, you're not responsible for it. So in general, I'm opposed to having site plan control on this property if it can be avoided.
Where does that leave us then Amanda.
Yes, through you, Chair. Just to clarify, on the decision for this application, it does not note anything to do with site plan control. So it's not within your review to decide. That is a matter that is with in Lindsay's report, that it addresses that it will be applied. It's not something that you can decide or against or for. We can, like, I'll put this into the minutes and everything about it, and it's something that we can discuss further when their official plan policies are discussed.
Okay, then, Peter, it looks like we'll have to leave it with you to discuss whether building planning department or whatever. But just so you know, there's more than one of us that we still don't like it. Okay, was there any other questions you said for Peter or what? No, I don't either, other than to commend you on getting it staked right. That was perfect. Awesome. Alrighty, then we'll need oh, Todd, you have something?
No, I was just going to motion to approve the application.
Okay, yeah, so Todd and Catherine, mover and a seconder. Been moved by Todd and seconded by Catherine that application D13-2025-035 be approved, subject to conditions as included in the planner's report and decision of the committee, and we're ready to vote.
Catherine, yes?
Bruce, yes.
Yes.
And I am also carried. All the best. So next is on the agenda is D13-2025-036 978 Oak Web Lane. Amanda.
Yes, the application is requesting a permission to expand the floor area of the existing legal non-complying dwelling. The existing dwelling is legal non-complying with respect to the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of Charleston Lake and the minimum 30-meter front yard provision of the shoreline residential zone. The existing 100.6 square meter single-story dwelling is proposed to be expanded through the proposed covering of an existing 39.1 square meter attached uncovered deck. The property is currently developed with a single detached dwelling, attached uncovered deck, 3 accessory structures, and marine facilities. The existing storage shed is proposed to be removed from the property. The application is also requesting variances to the zoning bylaw to permit a sleeping cabin to be located within the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of Charleston Lake and the minimum 30-meter front yard setback of the shoreline residential zone. The sleeping cabin is proposed to be 30 square meters and less than 5 meters in height.
Thank you, Amanda. Kyle, would you give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you. So as noted, this application is requesting a permission to expand an existing legal non-complying dwelling with the addition of an attached covered deck. It is proposed to construct the attached covered deck on the northeast side of the existing dwelling, and the structure will encroach no closer to the high water mark than existing, and the development will remain compliant with the required setback from the floodplain. The proposed area of construction is currently developed with an uncovered deck. As such, no adverse impacts are anticipated beyond what currently exists, and the scale of the proposed structure is understood to be in appropriate proportion to the existing legal non-complying dwelling. The application is also requesting a variance to permit a sleep cabin within the required 30-meter setback from the high water mark. Of note, the existing property is limited in terms of development potential, as much of the property falls within the required 30-meter setback from the high water mark. Further, at the rear of the property, the lot includes a hydro line and existing development such as a driveway and woodshed, which further restricts development. Staff are satisfied that the proposed structure maximizes the setback from the high water mark, and as such, no disturbance to native soils and vegetation within the established water setback buffer area is anticipated. The local conservation authority have submitted comments noting no concerns based on their consideration of natural hazards, and the application has been found to be consistent with the applicable policies and regulations of the land use planning documents of the township and is understood to meet the 4 tests of a minor variance. As such, planning staff recommend approval of this application per the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Kyle. Amanda, any other comments?
We just had the comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections, and we have not received any further written public comments.
Thank you. Is there anyone in the audience today or online that wishes to speak to this application?
There is no one online and no one in the audience looking to speak to the application.
Is there someone here to speak to?
Yes, we do have the agent, Greg Ham is here to speak to it if you have any questions.
Okay, any members? Question about the application? Catherine?
I have no questions or concerns about this application.
Bruce?
I have none either.
And none here, sir.
Nor do I. So we need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Bruce, seconded by Todd. That was quick. Moved by Bruce, seconded by Todd, that application D13-2025-036 be approved, subject to the conditions as included in the planner's report and the decision of the committee. Committee vote.
Catherine, yes?
Bruce, yes.
Yes.
I am also carried. So next, on the application or on the agenda today is application. That wasn't the one we just did. D13?
Yep.
38, yeah. Yeah, that application D13-2025-038 be approves. What the hell's going on there? Oh, yeah. D13-2025-038 508 Slack Road. Sorry about that.
It's okay. The application is requesting a permission to expand the floor area of the existing legal non-complying dwelling. The existing dwelling is legal non-complying with respect to the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of Charleston Lake and the minimum 30-meter front yard provision of the shoreline residential zone. The existing 72.2 square meter single-story dwelling is proposed to be expanded with a 34.85 square meter attached covered deck. The proposed area of construction is currently partially developed with an existing uncovered deck. The property is currently developed with a single detached dwelling, attached uncovered deck, and 2 accessory structures. This application is also requesting a variance for zoning relief from the minimum required interior side yard setback to permit the proposed covered deck. It is noted that the covered deck will extend no closer to the interior side yard than the existing uncovered deck. However, while the uncovered deck is permitted at a 2.2 meter setback, as per the township zoning bylaw encroachment policies, as detailed in section 3.39, the provisions do not address covered decking. As such, the proposed covered deck requires zoning relief.
Okay, Kyle, will you give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you. So this application is requesting a permission to expand an existing legal non-complying dwelling with the addition of an attached covered deck. It is proposed to construct the attached covered deck on the water side of the existing dwelling, and the structure will encroach no closer to the high water mark than existing, and the development will remain compliant with the required setback from the floodplain. The proposed area of construction is currently developed with an uncovered deck, and overall, no undue adverse impacts are anticipated beyond what currently exists, and the scale of the proposed structure is understood to be an appropriate proportion to the existing legal non-complying dwelling. This application is also requesting a variance to permit a reduction in the required side yard a reduction in the required setback from the interior side lot line. This variance is technical in nature, as the covered deck will extend no closer to the side lot line than the existing uncovered deck. However, while the zoning bylaw provides relief for encroaching uncovered decks, the zoning provisions do not provide relief for covered decks. As such, the addition of a roof over the existing structure or the replacement of the uncovered deck with a covered deck triggers the need for this relief. In conclusion, the Conservation Authority have submitted comments noting no concerns based on their consideration of natural hazards. The application has been found to be consistent with the applicable policies and regulations of the land use planning documents of the township and is understood to meet the 4 tests of a minor variance. As such, planning staff recommend approval of this application per the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle. Amanda, any other public comments that you've received?
We received the comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections, and we have not received any further written public comments.
Is there anyone in the audience or online that wishes to speak to this application?
There was no one online and no one in the audience looking to speak to the application.
Committee members, any question to applicant if they're here?
I have no questions or concerns.
Bruce?
My only concern would be that I would suggest that when council's looking at site plan control agreements, they also look at technical applications such as this, because it really makes one shake their head that putting a little roof over an existing deck triggers a minor variance. I have no concerns. This is truly minor in nature.
No, it's very straightforward. Nothing to add.
Yep, and Bruce pretty well echoed what I'd say, so I have none either. So we need a mover and a seconder. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Bruce. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Bruce, that application D13-2025-038 be approved, subject to the conditions as included in the planner's report and the decision of the committee. We're ready to vote.
Catherine, yes?
Bruce, yes?
Yes.
I am also carried. And the next on the agenda is D13-2025-039-1 Serendipity Island.
Yes, the application is requesting a permission to expand the floor area of the existing legal non-complying seasonal dwelling. The existing seasonal dwelling is legal non-complying with respect to the minimum 30-meter setback from the high water mark of the St. Lawrence River and the minimum 30-meter front yard provision of the island residential zone. The existing 96.15 square meter single-story seasonal dwelling is proposed to be expanded by converting an existing 2.79 square meter attached uncovered deck to a 3.66 square meter covered deck. The property is currently developed with a seasonal dwelling, 2 attached decks, and a marine facility.
Thank you. Kyle, could you give us your report, please?
Thank you, Chair, and through you. So as noted, this application is requesting a permission to expand an existing legal non-complying dwelling with the addition of an attached covered deck. It is proposed to construct the attached covered deck on the southwest side of the existing dwelling, and the structure will encroach no closer to the high water mark than the closest point of existing development. The proposed area of construction is currently developed with a 2.8 square meter uncovered deck, and it is proposed to construct a 3.7 square meter covered deck in its place. The proposed expansion is limited. No undue adverse impacts are anticipated beyond what currently exists, and the scale of the proposed structure is understood to be an appropriate proportion to the existing legal non-complying dwelling. In conclusion, the Conservation Authority have submitted comments noting no concerns based on their consideration of natural hazards, and the application has been found to be consistent with the applicable policies and regulations of the land use planning documents of the township. As such, planning staff recommend approval of this application per the details and conditions enclosed within the staff report. Thank you.
Thanks, Kyle. Amanda, any other public comments, written or otherwise?
We just had comments from the Conservation Authority with no objections, and we have not received any further written public comments.
Thanks, Amanda. Is there anyone in the audience or virtually that wishes to speak to the application?
We have no one in the audience and no one online looking to speak to the application.
Committee members, Catherine, any questions for the applicant?
I have no questions or concerns.
Bruce?
I have no questions or concerns either.
Nothing, sir.
Neither do I. So we need a mover, Catherine and Todd. Moved by Catherine, seconded by Todd, that application D13-2025-039 be approved, subject to conditions as included in the planner's report and the decision of the committee, and we're ready to vote.
Catherine, yes?
Bruce, yes?
Yes.
And I'm also carried. So
The next item on the agenda was the discussion for the small accessory structures within the 30 meters of the high water mark. And staff are requesting to postpone that discussion until Marnie, our director, is available to discuss that with you.
So. Motion to adjourn.
No, before we adjourn, can I get something on record, please?
Yep, go ahead.
So, one, thank you for forwarding the information that was forwarded. I think it was very helpful. And I did have an opportunity to review it before arriving here today. So I think it is very helpful. And two, I just want on record around timelines. I tried just now to go back in and find when this was first raised, and I apologize, but I can't navigate your system. I don't have that expertise to navigate your system to pull it out, but it's been a significant amount of time. So just some comment, please, on record that, however, that, this quite frankly seems to be dragging along, and I'm not blaming anybody. I'm just want it noted that it's been taking quite a while, months, if not many, many months, if not longer. So we don't need to get into the hyperbole in the minutes, but anyway, I just wanted to put that on record. Thank you. And thank staff for pulling together what they did, because it was very helpful to review.
Oops, anything else?
Oh, I echo Todd's remarks.
I haven't been on my email since this morning, but I assume there was some document circulated that,
I didn't see it.
Yes, I forwarded just the document that we had printed out the other month. I just emailed a PDF copy to everyone in case the paper copy's been misplaced.
fine, thank you.
But now. Need a move, seconder, adjourn, moved by Catherine, seconded by Bruce, and in favor of all. So we're ready to vote.
Catherine, yes?
Adjourn.
Bruce, yes.
Yes.
I am also carried. Meeting is officially over.
Thank you, everyone.